Welcome to the Mwegas show. I am Kamawa Mwega. This is part two of Are You a Strong Father? Why You Raised by a Strong Father? Sawa. So apologies because the first section of the show mvua ilianza kunyesha and mabati kaanza kupiga kelele, so we had to shift, move over to hapo mahali ingine. So welcome. So just a recap. So we defined what a strong father is, what a good father is, who a father is, and this is what I said. A father is someone who, number one, has kids, or this is the second one, is a person who is a man who is able to have kids. Number three, a man who is planning to have kids. Sawa? It can be one of those things, all of those things, or two of those things. Sawa sawa? So why is it important for me to say this? It's because in today's society, we've been waiting until the last minute when everything is going to shit so that we can start talking about some of these issues. Let me just check. Yes, audio is good. The traditional society understood that fatherhood started way before a person has a child or impregnates another person, before you even go and give your seed. Why? Because it's a mentality, it's a mental space, it is something that is taught. You have to be mentored into it, you have to know what you're getting into, and that's something that has plagued today's society because we think we know, and then we end up with weak fathers. And what do I mean by weak fathers? A generation of weak fathers, and just the demographic fathers, not the individual father, the demographic father, the collective father. It's weak. So that's why I posted something on Facebook. So if you want to know what I'm talking about, go watch part one, then come here. Now let's continue. We keep this as short as we can. So we went. The first thing we talked about was a father. A good father is patient. However, a strong father will show impatience in certain things. So a good father will be patient in all things. A strong father will be impatient in other things. Why is a strong father impatient? Because he knows that he doesn't have all the time in the world to impact on his children and to pass whatever knowledge, whatever skills he needs to pass to his kids. He has limited time, and that's why he shows impatience if whatever he's trying to teach the child is not getting. So let's go to the second one. And I say that these points of good fathers, I got them from a religious site called beliefnet.com. So if you listen to some of these points, you'll find that they are more geared towards religious men, or men who, or fathers who are religious, more or less. However, I also say that these are things which even those fathers or those men who are not religious can relate and see that it makes sense. So the second one is he is moral. So this simply means that his decisions are rooted in something greater than himself. He looks to something higher. He's selfless, righteous. He knows the difference between good and evil and can deftly navigate the shades of gray between them. So this is a good father. A good father is moral. A good father is selfless. A good father is righteous. He knows good and evil, and he can maneuver and navigate between the two. Okay, that's a good father. Now, a strong father decides what is moral. A good father lets society tell him what is moral. So let me say this. Morality is something collective, right? society sits down and agrees this is what we are going to consider moral. Okay. Now, a strong father decides what is moral. Okay. And what I mean by this is some things the society might consider moral, but a strong father might consider them immoral. And a good example is the LGBTQ. Okay. There are societies which have accepted the homosexuals and the LGBTQ, and to them being part of that clique or that community is not immoral. However, in most African societies, I am African, I'm Kenyan, I'm in Kenya. LGBTQ to the average Kenyan is immoral. So a strong father decides what is moral and what is immoral. A strong father in a society where people have decided that LGBTQ is moral might decide that is immoral and will impact their kids using that morality which he himself has decided. So, morality is what is acceptable in a society. A strong father decides what is moral for his children, even if it conflicts with what the society defines as moral. That's what I mean. I don't mean that a father will teach his kids to go commit murder, crimes, and all those things. I just mean that a strong father decides what is moral for his children. Okay? A strong father, right now we live in a society that believes in my dress, my choice. Okay? So there are families where they allow their girls to dress as they want. But a strong father will put a stop to that, will decide that this kind of dressing is not going to happen in my house. My kids are not going to dress a certain kind of way. My girl child is not going to dress in certain clothes. My boy child is not going to dress a certain way. Okay? So, a strong father will put in place measures to ensure that his daughter does not dress provocatively and his son does not dress like a degenerate. He will not entertain um, his wife dressing some kind of way and posting some kind of things on social media. Because let's be clear, children imitate and emulate. So if a father is telling his girl, you are not going to dress a certain kind of way, but allows his wife to dress that way, there is going to be a conflict in that communication. So the communication has to be standardized. He cannot be there telling his son, you cannot dress a certain kind of way, and he is dressing that kind of way. Are you getting what I'm saying? A strong father decides, and by that decision, he embodies whatever he has decided is moral. All right? So that's the difference between a good father and a strong father. So a good father is open-minded. This is another point. A good father is open-minded. So the open-minded man accepts that his family members are diverse bunch and admire the differences between them. He is teachable, and rather than rejecting what is different in his family, he happily learns from them. Now, that's a good father. He's open-minded. He's teachable. And I told you some of these things, some of these points have been put out there by people, and it is good to read them, to internalize them, and to analyze. So, a good man is teachable. A good father is teachable. Now, by the time a child gets to a point where they are supposed to be teaching their father, they should be out of the house to go teach their own kids. Are you getting what I'm saying? By the time a child is wise enough, is knowledgeable enough to impart knowledge unto his father, he's supposed to be out there imparting that knowledge to his kids. All right. Fatherhood does not stop when the son or the daughter grows up and moves out. But now the relationship will be a bit different because both of them, if let's say it's a son who has his own family, he's also a father wherever he is. So when he comes to talk to his father, there is a level of engagement that is not father to son, it is father to father. So a father teaches a father, but there is no way a son can teach a father how to father because the son has not fathered anyone. A daughter cannot teach a father how to father because she is not a father. She is not knowledgeable enough in fatherhood to come and teach the father. Even the son, once he becomes a father, he has to get to a point where he's knowledgeable enough to come and add value to his father. And now remember, this father is still fathering the son. So it is very rare to find a situation where a son is teaching a father how to father. I'm not saying it does not happen, but it is very rare because this son hasn't even learned how to be a son yet. Now he's learning how to be a father. He hasn't gotten to a point where now he can come and teach his father fatherhood. Now that's what they say about a good man. He's teachable. Now, a strong father knows what to be open-minded about and what to be closed-minded about. He's wise enough to know I can be open-minded here, but this one non-negotiable. Okay? He will have a different expectation of his son as opposed to his daughter because he knows they are different. One will go out to be a father, the other one will go out to be a mother. He will be teaching his son masculinity and his daughter femininity, or allowing others to teach his daughter femininity. So, allowing his wife to teach the daughter femininity and being there and supervising and ensuring that the daughter is not being corrupted. So a strong father knows what to be open-minded about and what to be closed-minded about. Remember, a good father is open-minded. A strong father decides whether or not to be open-minded. Now, another point. A good father is loving. So in this point, they put, or the messaging is that many men are not emotionally intelligent, and that is a problem. So this is known as EQ. EQ, by the way, has no there is no way of measuring EQ. EQ is just some abstract belief. So good fathers consistently show affection and love to their children. They are emotionally honest, and intimacy are rare, you know, are rare treasures in a dad, both for his children and his. They put partner. And for me, I don't believe in partnerships in marriage. I believe in spouses. You are a spouse, you're not a partner. So if you're a wife, you are a spouse. If you're a husband, you're a spouse. Each spouse has his own things that they need to do, their own duty that they need to do that is different from the other spouse. Sometimes they overlap, but there are things which are very specific to one spouse, nothing to do with partnerships. This issue of partnership is nonsense, but then it's westernized. It's Western idiocy. So they say that a good father consistently shows affections and love to his children and his partner. Now, a strong father knows how emotions affect his logic and always and will always choose logic over emotions. So it doesn't mean that the strong father doesn't feel emotions and does not process emotions, but he knows, he understands that emotions interfere with logic. And when it is between his emotions and his logic, he will always choose logic over emotions. Why? Because logic always wins. Logic is a process of putting thoughts together and, you know, making sure that those thoughts make sense. Emotions sometimes don't make any sense. They don't. A man who operates on emotions doesn't operate on sense. But a man who operates on logic operates on sense, meaning it has to make sense. Why did you do this? I did this because of X, Y, Z. And I knew by doing X, Y, Z, this will be the outcomes or the preferred outcomes. Sometimes the preferred outcomes do not come out, but they are anticipated. Something was done in anticipation for a preferred outcome in a logical process. But then if you are emotional, why did you do this? I did this because I felt like XYZ. That's not a man's way. That's not a strong father's um that's not how strong fathers should be behaving. Okay? Strong fathers will choose logic over emotions, especially in situations where emotions and logic are at loggerheads. Yes, I love my son. But then my son has become a degenerate and he has broken the law. And because he has broken the law, he needs to serve his time. I love my son. I don't want him to serve time, but he has done something that requires him to serve time because there is a lesson there that choices have consequences. It's going to hurt me, it's going to emotionally break me, but the logic is that he did a crime, he needs to pay. Another point is a good father is loyal. A loyal father is one that can be trusted to be there today, tomorrow, and forever. So, loyalty is the ability to consistently stick to your choices no matter the costs. When a man makes a choice to become a father, a strong sense of loyalty becomes vital. Doesn't mean a father physically stays with his family. Loyalty means much more than that. Now, that is a good father. You see, there is some form of contradiction in these statements that a loyal father is one that can be trusted to be there today, tomorrow, and forever. And then loyalty is the ability to consistently stick by your choices no matter the costs. And then the contradiction comes here. This doesn't mean a father physically stays with his family. What do you mean? See, this is the problem with today's society. We want to please everyone. It is my belief that fathers should be with their children. That is my strong belief. That's my belief. Fathers should be with their children. Now, does that mean that the father has to always physically stay with his family? No. But the question is, why is the father physically not there? There is an absence of physical presence because of separation and divorce, and there is an absence of the father because of the the expectations put upon him by his family to provide. Let me repeat that. There is an absence, there is a physical absence of a father due to separation, divorce, or not getting married. And there is an absence of a father physically because of his expectation to be a provider. So he is married to his woman. When he is around, they live in the same house. They are not divorced, they are not separated, they are married. But because this man, there is no, or there are not enough opportunities to take care or to give his life the life that he wants them to have, and there is no economic opportunity in this area to provide that, then he can travel to go in order to fulfill his provision role. So he's not physically there, but he is present in terms of he is still married to his wife. He is, they are not separated, they are not divorced. And this is why I said a strong father stays with his children, especially when we are talking about issues of separation and divorce or not getting married. So it doesn't matter if you are married to the mother of your kids or not, but you as a strong father has to stay with your kids. So he chooses the mother of his children carefully so as to ensure that her loyalty to the family is stronger than her loyalty to save. Her loyalty to the family is stronger than her loyalty to self, which should be same as him. So his loyalty to the family unit, to the wife and the children, should be stronger than his loyalty to self, and her loyalty to the husband and the children should be stronger than her loyalty to self. So what do I mean? A strong man, chooses a woman who will sacrifice herself for the sake and for the betterment of the family, because he will always do the same. He will do the same. He is expected to do the same. So there is not this nonsense of mimi ni na bibi yangu tuliwachana, so mimi ninafanya visitation. There should, if you are a strong father, then you should have been taught how to choose a wife. So you choose a spouse, you choose your wife better. You make sure that she espouses the same beliefs in the family, in the sticking together of the family that you also do. So what does this do? This means that as a man, as a father, you will be sacrificing a lot for her and the kids. And as a mother, she will also be sacrificing a lot for the husband and the kids. So in the end, the kids are the ones who benefit because they get to be in a family where the mother and the father are both present. But that has to come from a strong father. And that's why I said not only those who have kids, but also men who are able to have kids and men who want to have kids. Because as a man, if one of your goals in life is to have children, then you have to choose carefully who you are going to have children with. So it starts there. First of all, are you a father? Have you looked at yourself and your ideals and you believe that now you are ready to bring a new life in this world and mentor it and raise it in such a way that it is a plus to the society? If the answer is yes, then now you have to go and look and search for a woman who is also ready to be a mother and to do what it takes to ensure that the family stays together. So that's the work of a strong father. Now you understand the differences between a good father and a strong father. So another point is that A good father is honest. Honesty creates a sense of safety. When everyone can trust that Dad's word is his bond, they know that they can go to him for anything and that they can trust him to do what he says he will do. So, a good father is honest. Let's look at a strong father. Now, a strong father knows that sometimes he has to break his word for the betterment of the family and his kids. Sometimes he knows that sometimes he has to break his word for the betterment of his family and his kids. But now let's remember that this father is operating from logic and not emotions. So even when he's breaking this his word, there is a logical reason why. So let me give an example. So if, for example, I promised my son that if he performs well uh, in his exams, I'm going to buy him a bicycle. Let's say, for example, right? And I save towards buying that bicycle because I can see that he is starting to put in the work. So I know that by the end of the term, he's going to achieve the goal that I set. Now, he performs well, and now he's expecting his bicycle. Unfortunately, someone in my family passes away, and we need, or somebody in my family is sick, or one of our family members is sick within our own family, or even the person I promised the bicycle falls sick. So what do I do? Do I go buy him a bicycle, or do I first sort out his health issues? So technically, I have broken my word because I did not buy him a bicycle and he has achieved what I needed him to achieve. But now, why did I break my word? It's because something else has come. Does that mean that now, because I've used money for his medical expenses, no, I'm still going to buy him a bicycle, but not on the time that I had said I will. So technically, I have broken my word because I said, once you perform well, I will buy you a bicycle. But now the money for the bicycle has gone for his health needs. But then after he's healthy, that does not mean that now that he's healthy, mahitaji ya familia imesimama. Remember, I had saved, for example, I had saved some money for 3, 4, 5, 6 months in order to put that money together to afford that bicycle. That money has gone somewhere. So after he is better, then I still need to kaa chini, organize, and then I start saving. So I might probably buy that bicycle a year later, or 6 months later, or 2 years later. But if you look at the uh, the promise critically, the promise was broken. But why was it broken? And after it was broken, was it was something done about it? Was the promise kept even if it was kept later? So a strong father knows that sometimes you have to disappoint your kids and your spouse for their own benefit. So let's say, for example, the bicycle was promised to somebody else, to another brother, to his other brother, and then this other brother falls sick. So what happens? Do I buy this person a bicycle as this person needs money to go to hospital, or do I first sort out this issue? So strong men have to be logical. All right. So sometimes, so good men are told that they cannot break their word. Strong men make their own rules. All right. Then he leads by example. A good man leads by example. So a strong man also leads by example. Now, I have a problem with, when you state a point, it can cut both ways. But then when you start explaining what you mean, then there is a problem. Because the way this one is explained is, a good father is the core leader of the family unit and is often considered the head of the house. So a good father is the core leader of the family unit and is often considered the head of the house. Now, a strong father is the leader. He's not often considered the head, he is always the head of the house. Hakuna often mahali. A strong father is always the leader, 100%. There is no core about it, there is no core leadership. He takes responsibility for all the fuck ups of anyone he has delegated leadership to. So, a strong father is the ultimate high king in the family. He is the one with all the powers. Now, power comes from him. So he delegates. He decides my wife is going to have this power, this power, this power, this power. My child, my firstborn is going to have this power, this power. My secondborn, this power, this power. My daughter, this power, this power. The house help, these powers, these powers. The gardener, these powers, these powers. Everyone, everyone. Even those people who come to live in his house. For example, there are families where one family incorporates a different family, they live under one roof. Okay. Or a parent comes to live with the son of the family of his son. So the man of the house is still the high priest of that house. It doesn't matter whether his father is living with him, his mother is living with him. He is the one with ultimate authority in that house. There is no co-leadership, nothing. He's the one 100%. Now he will delegate his power and duties according to abilities within his family. And then he takes responsibility for everything that goes wrong because the power he gave and the people he gave power to, that was his decision. So there is no core leadership, hakuna mambo ya often. A strong father is the leader. Always. Now, the final point, according to beliefnet.com, a good father is a good man. A good father is a good man. Now, a strong father knows that for him to be a strong father, sometimes he has to be a bad man. Sometimes he has to be a bad man in order to do good for his family. What do I mean? Let's say um, you're raising your kids well. When they grow and they get to a certain age, the rebellion age and all that, and now they are grown, 18 years and above, now they know they are men or they are women. They have the capacity to start making their own decisions. Sometimes in making these decisions, they make mistakes as your children. They make mistakes. So let's say your girl decides to go with a friend to some party, whatever. Then when they are there, either they are bullied or something happens, some form of harassment happens targeting them. Because a strong father, one of his primary directives, responsibilities is protection. He has to set those people straight that he will not tolerate his daughter being harassed. Sometimes, even in these communities we live in, men will harass school-going girls. And there are men who are notorious for that, known. So when such a man harasses a strong father's daughter, the father has to set that man straight for him to be as a lesson to other men who might be having the same thoughts. So for him to do that, he has to do bad. He has to become a bad man in order for him to do good by his family. He has to hurt somebody. He has to hurt somebody for those people to know that if you dare hurt my children, I will be here, I will come for you, and I'm going to bring the total ass kicking to you. So a strong father knows that for him to be a strong father, sometimes he will have to be a bad man for the good of his family. A strong father knows that even in his house, sometimes he has to be a bad man or to be considered a bad man in his own family. In fact, if you are a father, if you are a man, if you are married, if you are a married man, and you're not considered bad, if your spouse and your kids only sing praises about you, like you are not a strong father, because a strong father, one of his most used word is no. Dad, can we, our friend has a party, can we go? No. My husband, we chama, our chama is going to Mombasa, can I go? No. Baba Nani, I want to borrow your son because I want him to go do this for me. No. But for the good of his family. And that's why when I started, I said, all strong fathers are good fathers, but not all good fathers are strong fathers. I will repeat this. All strong fathers are good fathers, but not all good fathers are strong fathers. So what do you think? What do you think about it? About this topic, about those principles or tenets or characteristics that have laid down good men and strong men? What do you think about it? So comment, uh, post comment kama uko na idea. Let's meet next Sunday. We know if you are going to continue with the fatherhood and masculinity series ama tunaenda back to shenanigans Sunday, depending na vile kutakuwa. Sawa, it's been great. Those who are watching after the fact, asanteni sana. Post a comment. If you have a comment, tell me what you think. Tell me what other topics, what other issues you want me to talk about. And also, kwa wale wenye mko na namba yangu ya WhatsApp, if you have anything you want me to react to respond to include in my show, please send it to me on WhatsApp. I have two gentlemen who've been doing very well, who've been sharing things to me. Asanteni sana, mnajijua nyinyi akina nani. Keep doing that. Keep supporting the channel, watching the videos. Channel ina grow. Share, subscribe. Ambia mabeste zako wa subscribe. Tuko almost 200 subscribers, and the more the channel grows, the wider the reach, the wider the reach. Then pole set up, tutengeneza a better setup, bring better cameras, better equipment, and also of course expand the show, because kuna time nataka tuanze kufanya live discussion sessions, so tutakuwa na some form of a studio kind of setup, but hiyo inategemea na how the channel is growing, kwa sababu hizi vitu zote ni investment. So thank you for those people who will watch this. Thank you to those people who will comment. I always respond to all comments. So comment, share your thoughts, I will respond. Hiyo ni kitu yenye lazima nifanye. Asanteni sana, tuonane next Sunday kama kawaida. This has been the Mwegas Show. I have been sitaki kusema host. I am Kamau wa Mwega. Peace out. Have a great week.